Yeti for your Makwaba Daily Update TV, a best sending number channel so mobile hit at the number subscribe. But like Hashama, one pay semi be at so and a be a team say mobile jam rania that Geneva Roman tent to akuti seman de go. At you for on my Ghana, dear, say no, yentimi who say leaders no, come here say. Send a Bible can say, Yansa, me mine nti wo yera no eno na ebi aka oman Ghana leaders no udru ho a wonte ase se udi wa gudie ana se oman a yebetu kame se resources wo krom na utimi negotiate niema bia udru ho a wonte ase etiefo mo bekaya enche bia na oman Ghana ye discover lithium ewo man mu ha se esese yitu na eno na nana dodan kwakufo do aban ene aban company na ya ebetu ekodi ewo etu yo mu betu na deal ni first ebi ni se oman no anase company na ebetu lithium no 10 years omuntua tax geto sumye ni so sika bia company ni benya bia no emu 4.4% ebeko land owners for no omo eje omo nsase no de ma sa company no eno na Ghana for do mo na eche so na isim opa ya boyo kro no a ba bia mo sa de fene o matutu bia ma ne aban ne papa de nsem bi egu ebe fontenten fidie ni so a hu kura bedwuna tim for jemre ne adaje ne tin nsem ne ba de ka hu bia no yenso ye be ba ne de abedomo.
Because when you look at the global, and I listen to the very distinguished words of the former Chief Justice, I believe she's the only, so far, she's the only member of that Akufo-Addo extended family who has so far shown a certain interest in the development, real development of this country. All of them, Gabi, Asante Bedie too, all of them. They all are part of the nepotistic regime of this government. But this one, I'm happy about her comments on this particular matter. And the fact is that there are newer models of how to negotiate on natural resources, because so far there's a natural resource curse that most countries have suffered from. When it comes to gold, almost every country that has mined gold has not enjoyed the proceeds of the gold. The biggest countries, the biggest beneficiaries are, in fact, how is the UK the biggest owner of gold deposits in the world? The UK, small land, mainly waterlogged, but they have the highest quantity of gold in the world. How did that happen? That's because other countries have made mistakes and allowed others to benefit from it. So we in the NDC, and of course all meaning Ghanaians, are saying that this is not a good deal for the people of Ghana. And the reason why we're saying it's not a good deal is that, number one, when you look at the issue of tax, they have been registered under Ghana free zones. Under Ghana free zones. And they've been given a tax holiday of 10 years. How feasible is this? Somebody's coming to extract resources from your country. Most of it is going out. And you are still giving him, even a tax you are going to take from him, you are giving 10 years. Tax holiday means that for 10 years, they will not pay tax. No kind of tax will be paid. And the Ghana government will be deprived of millions, if not billions, of dollars in resources. That's number one. Number two, when you look at the negotiation, how we have negotiated, there's no specific provision that says that Ghana will take charge of the value chain of lithium. When we take gold, for example, there's a value chain. There are those that buy land, that they do the prospecting. There are those that do the mining. There are those that do the purchasing. There are those that do the exports. And along this value chain are various opportunities of employment. By this particular agreement, there's nothing that expressly gives to the Ghanaian people an advantage in the value chain of lithium. You see, maybe let me talk about what lithium is all about. Just last week or so, the world gathered in the Arab world for another COP, where they met to discuss issues of the environment. So the issues of the environment are now at the fore of what most worlds do. In fact, there's even the thing about carbon credits, where if you emit less carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, you get some credits. You get the point. Vehicles are now moving from fuel and diesel, fossil fuels basically, into renewable energy. Like so, lithium is at the core. I see my brother using 3 iPhones.
That's not true. I'm not
all these 3 iPhones are using.
That's not true.
All these
this is
iPhones,
an Android phone.
My brother, bring it out.
You are the one using iPhone 15 Pro Max. How much is your phone? This is not an iPhone. You see, this is some of the lights of the NDC. This is not an iPhone.
You're using 3 phones. Bring them out. Why
Is this an iPhone?
So let's move on.
The point I'm making is that.
So I want to get a point. What's the point?
So the point I'm making is that
the batteries, right?
Of his 3 phones, the 3 iPhones he's using, 3 iPhone 15s that he's using, lithium is what's used in the batteries. Vehicles, electric vehicles that are now the order of the day, drive on lithium. Electrical cables, basically everything that has to do with electronics, drive on lithium. So the advantage is that gold is something that is reserved for, let me say the rich, people that can afford, people that want to look beautiful, ornamental. That's what gold is. So gold, we can forgive gold if not a lot of people are interested in it. But lithium is something that benefits the masses. Everyone uses a phone. And in every phone, there's a certain percentage of lithium used in making the phone, the battery of the phone. So it tells you the importance of lithium. We have reached a very important stage in our national life where we can either learn from the mistakes of the past and not repeat them, or repeat the mistakes of the past and then go on into perpetual damnation.
Grateful. Land. Okay, so land for me. Land for me. Just land for me. Go ahead.
Right, give me just 2 minutes.
Land for me.
Or you are reaching perpetual damnation. So we have learnt over the years that the regime of the mining laws in Ghana are not favorable to the people of this area. We do not trust the MPP to give us something that is beneficial. We believe that it's important that you listen to all of the important stakeholders. One important thing, even when you look at the agreement, one of the clauses says that there's a 4.4% stake in Ghana's lithium for previous landowners. Now we know that the chiefs and people of the area are not happy with this agreement. They are rebelling, led by Professor Jampu, led by my good friend John Bamberry. All of them from that area are not happy with the deal. The chiefs are not happy with it. So how come there's a clause in the agreement that says there's a 4.4% stake in the ownership of the company for previous landowners? Who are the previous landowners? We need to know. So when you look at it, it smells of something fishy. Like it's characteristic of this government where corruption is, where everything they say is an avenue of corruption. So for you to say there's a 4.4% stake for previous landowners, when the landowners themselves are not even happy with the deal, it gives the question of who are the landowners who are benefited. 4.4% is no small money. That goes into hundreds of millions of dollars. So the deal basically is tainted. We don't believe in them, and also overall the character of the MPP makes it difficult for us to trust them. We need a better government, a government that is resourced by men of integrity, not men who are painted in corruption to lead this deal, and the MPP should stop it.
I'm grateful. We should be winding up. Now I am worried in this sense that we've seen how we have managed our gold, and most recently the oil, where we send even our raw materials out, they refine them, bring them back and sell to us at exorbitant fees. And I'll make a classical example with our cocoa, for instance. Look at the cocoa, for instance. If we do a raw material base with that, it is around 10 billion US dollars. That's when we get the raw cocoa. But when it ends up in, say, the Abrochi, American, wherever, where it is turned into chocolate. Look, if you do the calculation well, it's well over 100 billion US dollars. Should we rather look at refining our lithium here rather than allowing these companies send it out, refine it, bring it back and sell to us at exorbitant fees?
Thank you very much. So the good news is that in the current Barari Atlantic lithium deal, there is a clause that states that any lithium found by this company will be processed here in Ghana. The company will build a chemical plant that is going to process every lithium we find here in Ghana. It's part of the deal. So your concerns are well catered for by the deal. But you see,
but that ownership is still going to be for that company.
Of course. Let me break this deal down.
It is not correct.
In fact, let me state that all the concerns being raised by well-meaning Ghanaians, including the former revered Chief Justice, are concerns that are welcomed. However, some of their concerns are slightly, in contradiction with the reality. Because, Randy, on the concern that the deal, you just read that the Chief Justice says that the deal, I'm not responding specifically to the Chief Justice, but to what Ghanaians are saying, that the deal must go to Parliament for ratification. Yes, it is true. The deal would definitely go to Parliament for ratification, because if it doesn't go to Parliament, it doesn't then become a deal. because Article 286 and Section 5, subsection 4 of Act 703 states clearly that any mining lease shall be ratified by Parliament. And so, I mean, it's not negotiable. Parliament would definitely have to ratify this lease before it becomes enforceable. And so, we shouldn't worry. I mean, definitely, Parliament would ratify.
Early days yet, right?
Early days yet. I mean, we are still in the process. You see, this whole thing started from 2012, the entire lithium deal. So in 2012, the company was granted a recognizance license in August 2012. And then the company was then granted a prospecting license in March 2018. And then the company applied for a mining lease in line with Section 39 of Act 703 at the end of their prospecting license. So in October 2023, that is about 3 months ago, the company was granted a mining lease in accordance with Section 39(2) of Act 703. Now, the whole concerns about this lithium deal is that, or the whole point is that, the Ghana Geological Survey has no data or has no record to show that Ghana has discovered lithium. And so the government of Ghana cannot commit any money or enter into any partnership with any company to mine lithium. Because if the government then does that, and in the event where we don't find lithium, anybody who does that can be liable for causing financial loss to the state, because you cannot commit monies into an activity where the risk level is 95%. The Minerals Commission tells us that the risk level associated to this lithium deal is 95%. And we are all talking about economic hardships in the system. I do not think that government is in the position to even set up an agency like we have for GUIDEC, Ghana Aluminium, and the others, Ghana Bauxite, and the others, to set up an agency for, let's say, Ghana Lithium Company to manage the affairs of lithium in this country, because the Ghana Geological Survey has no data that we have found lithium. And this is an investor committing about $50 million into initiating the processes of mining lithium. As to whether or not they will be successful, we have been told that their success rate is just 5%. And the possibility of them not finding a piece of lithium is 95%. And so we are even in early days yet. Let us all calm down. There is nothing fishy about this deal. And like you mentioned, the royalty and the taxes that are to be paid by this government, by this company, is one of the best we will find in the world. Not even in Africa, in the world.
We need to go.
You see, I have sent you a publication on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Council questioned that who holds the 4.4% stake of in the name of the previous landowners.
But the fact is that for 10 years
we are being told, Council, let me land. We are being told that the 4.4% stake in this deal in the name of the previous landowners is being held by Nunu Mensah of the NDC. We are being told. And this is in front of the publisher newspaper, the front page. I've just sent it to our host here. You can show it on the screen for everybody to see. And so, clearly, there is nothing fishy or nothing strange about this deal. In any case, the NDC has been unable.
I think we should question
the NDC has been. The NDC has been unable. The NDC has been able to point out any clause or provision. In the name of council, please, council, respectfully. So there is no provision or clause in the agreement that is in contravention with the letters and spirits of the 1992 Constitution and the mining law of this country.
I'm grateful.
There is no such provision. Council has not been able to point out a single clause in the agreement that is in contravention of our laws. And so, what is illegal? What is thievery? What is illegal about this whole argument? There is nothing illegal argument.
We need to